Welcome to the latest research video from the Stirling Autism Research team. A lot of what we know about autism has been created by autism researchers. They have had control over the narrative about autism. However, there hasn't been much discussion about whether autism research is a friendly place for autistic people or how autistic people are treated within autism research. In this video, we're going to talk about a few key points from the paper Academic, Activist or Advocate, Angry, Entangled and Emerging, a Critical Reflection on Autism Knowledge Production. This paper talks about the experiences of the author, Dr. Monique Botha. Monique is an autistic autism researcher. In the paper, they reflect on their own journey through university and in autism research. Monique talks about their relationship with themselves, with the autistic community and with academia. Are they an academic, activist or advocate? What is objectivity anyway? Objectivity is being free from bias on a particular topic. Monique explains that psychology is underpinned by something called positivism. Positivism is only accepting knowledge that has been created through applying a scientific method. Using a scientific method is supposed to be free from bias. However, it could be argued that being completely unbiased as a researcher is not possible. When we look at autism research, it has been biased towards the idea that autistic people could be treated or cured, and being autistic has been viewed very negatively. But we know that autistic people don't want to be treated or cured, and they are not just a list of deficits. So it's important that we question just how objective autism research really is. Dehumanisation means to see someone as less than human. Monique talks about how in autism research, autistic people are often dehumanised. Reading psychology papers initially put Monique off pursuing a career in autism research. However, Monique describes a moment where they found a theory which might explain the health inequalities experienced by autistic people, and they were motivated to carry out research that could help their community. But doing their research was not easy. Monique recalls some scenarios where their so-called objectivity as an autistic autism researcher was questioned. For example, being told they are not the right person to do autism research because they're autistic, or their data being questioned because autistic people couldn't possibly be that distressed, even their research would suggest that they are. After completing their undergraduate degree, master's degree and PhD, Monique was still being told that they did not understand the literature. Not because of their level of education, but because they are autistic. Monique concludes that it was never about education or engagement, it was about being autistic. Monique summarises that psychology researchers do not want autistic people to talk about autism. When challenging dehumanising accounts within autism research, Monique recalls that they often receive a "I'm not talking about you" response, that they are told that they are an exception. However, in their experience, most autistic people are an exception to the definition of autism, suggesting that maybe the definition that we have currently of autism might not be that accurate. Autism was first defined in the 1940s. We're still stuck with those definitions, even though these definitions have been spreading stereotypes that limit, degrade, and form the oppression of autistic people. As an autistic person, Monique states that they feel the effects of autism research in their personal life, through social media, informing stereotypes, creating ideas of autism that grow in families, friends, colleagues, and communities. Monique talks about how an ethical approach to creating and discussing autism research is missing. Psychology is designed to objectify, to centre the views of non-marginalised people's perspectives of marginalised people, leaving no room for alternatives. However, Monique is challenging the status quo, holding the door open for more autistic autism researchers as others have done for them. However, they reflect that autistic autism researchers do not emerge unscathed. They are burdened from exposure to all those dehumanising accounts of autism. This needs to be acknowledged and the burden shared with non-autistic autism researchers. This article is the result of years of reflection from the author and it's also a call to action for all autism researchers, whether autistic or not, to engage in deep reflection of their own values and motivations, and to use this process in their research. It is recognised that researchers do not always get it right, but it's also everyone's responsibility to try and do better. Honest reflection is one way that everyone can try to do better. Thank you for watching this video. You can find and read the whole paper by clicking on the link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, or you can follow us on Twitter @StirAutism.